Peace and aloha and welcome or welcome back to the palace of Persephone. This is going to be the last video I made for quite some time, and I wanted to get on and speak to you all because there have been many of you beautiful beings who have been supporting me on this journey, supporting me and my partner on our journey just by watching videos, liking and commenting, sharing, doing all of the engagement things you can do on this platform. So I wanted to come on here and speak about why I will no longer be on YouTube. And trust me, it's not for lack of trying. Not for lack of trying. I know I feel pretty far away. This is the only place I could set up the camera where you could see me. So I'm going to make a long story short. Dustin and I have been on the road now for about 2 months. Almost 2 months. And our original goal was just to go to Sedona and receive some downloads, activations, and upgrades from the vortex locations that are there. And it was a really beautiful time. I received a lot of beautiful insights about the difference between my personal masculine and my personal feminine energy, and what I was still working on, what I still needed to heal. I still move very much in a masculine way, and some of that is, the Capricorn rising in me, but also understanding how much my feminine has been wounded, has been silenced, has not really been listened to by me. So that's something I've been working through, but we also were blessed with an opportunity, since we were only 6 hours from San Diego, to go to San Diego. So we're like, hey, let's go to San Diego. So many beautiful things happened while we were in San Diego. I don't know if I'm going to ever be posting most of it onto YouTube. I have all the video footage. It may just be going to Patreon. If I still keep the Patreon, I'm still contemplating whether or not I still feel aligned to be doing Patreon as well. But we experienced a lot of beautiful things putting on essential oils. Lavender, vetiver, peppermint, nice little trio. And so a lot of beautiful things happened in San Diego. Saw some dolphins. Dustin ran into a friend from high school who lives out there, who gave us a beautiful opportunity to see some things we probably wouldn't have seen without his direction and guidance, and I send him much love and appreciation. And then we went to go visit my grandpa in Las Vegas. But throughout these trips and trials and tribulations, so to speak, there were things that were happening with Vincent, our van. And first it was that the tubing burst underneath the van because we were going through Phoenix. It was really hot. We also met some beautiful people in Phoenix. Dustin's friend, again, who he knew from high school, was living in that area. After we left Sedona, we saw them. But it was really hot there. It burst, so the coolant reservoir was empty, so we filled up the reservoir. But then it kept draining, so we bought another one, drained, until we realized you need to fill the radiator before you fill the reservoir. So learning experience, but still money we already didn't have, we were spending on repairs, and it was already expensive gas in California, so then we were just money is just emptying. We're going to thrift stores, we're finding thrift finds, and all of that is linked on Dustin's Instagram, on his Depop, for people, opportunities to support us by purchasing something cool that we find on the road. Sometimes the abundance comes in that way, sometimes it doesn't, and so you have to really work with what you've got. So then we go visit my grandpa on the way back now, because what we thought Dustin was going to have points to fly back to Virginia, and I was going to stay on the California coast for a while. The points expired from his mother, so the money we had spent already, that because we thought we could, because it was going to be a free flight, now he needs a flight, but now we can't do that. And then it turned into me letting go of feeling called to stay on the Pacific coast, my plan, and go back with him to Virginia and just save money by just trying to travel back. Gas will become cheaper, etc., and so on. We visit my grandfather in Las Vegas, and thank you to him. He was the reason we got 2 new tires, which we definitely needed after Sedona. I was really grateful for his presence in my life, and I don't ask for support or help, really. I try not to, because I don't like to owe people money. I don't like to not be able to do things on my own, and that's something I've always kind of struggled with. So I leaned into that vulnerability of asking for some assistance, and I prayed to my angels, and I prayed that in the way that he gave to me, he would be gifted as well. So I'm still trusting and honoring that he will be presented with a blessing for blessing me. So he helped us out. We said hi, we hung out. He has cute little puppies. We kind of talked about travel a little bit, which really made him light up. It was great to see him light up like that. And then we went through Utah, everything's fine. Go to Colorado, wind up there for my solar return, my 30th birthday. It was really surprised to be back in my hometown of Colorado Springs for that. Wound up at the park I was at as a child, where apparently it's the same field where Nikola Tesla did his research on lightning and thunder, so I felt real special. And then we leave, and we're trying to get through Kansas before this heat wave crosses across North America, because Gaia is upset and she's tired, and there's too much pollution, and the water is too high, which is making the land too hot. We already know this. And we were trying to dodge that. So we're going through Kansas yesterday. It was super windy through the night, storming, lightning, but we're doing fine. Next day we start driving, and then Vincent just shuts off. And then I pull over to the side of the road. I'm like, okay, well, maybe it's, troubleshooting all these things, because I've been learning a lot about vehicles since living in one. Turn it back on, he starts driving, we think we fixed it, he shuts back off, and we go to the side. And this is where I'm getting into why this is the last video I'll be making. This is the last thing I want to share, because I feel like it's the most important thing that I've learned since we've been on this trip. Kind of makes me feel emotional. Well, it doesn't kind of make me feel emotional. I am emotional about it because it's such a powerful experience that I've had. Pull over to the side of the road. Dustin and I already have no money. And this is not an exaggeration. When people are like, oh, I'm broke. No, we literally have $0 to both of our names, and we are blessed with gifts and blessed with abundance from just random, literally praying for those blessings to come, and they come. Someone gifting us, a beautiful friend gifting us $100 for our honeymoon, another friend doing the same, another friend doing the same. And it was only because of these two friends, which my partner didn't realize they had sent the money already, that we had the money to tow Vincent yesterday. So this is where it gets interesting. We stop, we're trying to figure out, we have gas. I keep an eye on the mileage and on the gas. I already am very consciously aware of all of that. So I have all this information already. I'm already present in this. And then I already know the radiator's fine. I already know that we have oil. I know it's been changed. I know that nothing's leaking. So we're trying to figure out what it is. And a police officer pulls up behind us, and he comes and checks on us. He's like, hey, I just want to check you guys are all right. I was like, yeah, I'm calling a tow company right now to see what we can do. But I thought it was beautiful he came to check on us. And then another officer came, and he was not even designed to be districting the interstate, which I didn't know. Some cops are literally just routed to drive back and forth certain sections of the highway in case people break down, which is really beautiful to see. His name was Tim. Thank you, Tim. So before any of those beings showed up, I stopped and I was like, okay, I've exercised all my external resources. I looked on YouTube to figure out, why does the car shut off? I looked up videos, I did my own troubleshooting, and I was like, I'm gonna pray. So I sat, and there's something you can do too, because I found it in a book in Barnes & Noble that I just felt called to, and that's usually how it works. The left shoulder it's an acronym for all the angels you can call to, the directions they represent. So the west is G, Gabriel. The east is R for Raphael. North is Uriel. South is Michael. Metatron is everywhere. Ariel is for abundance, and Sandalphon is the angel that brings messages from you up to the heavens. And so I was like, G-R-U-M. It's Grum, which I know is doesn't really sound nice, but it's helped me to remember the directions. So I sat and I called for each direction of angel 3 times. I say their name and I thank them for their presence. And I prayed, I said, allow me to see the resources available to me, allow me to have the wisdom, allow me to have the sight. I'm praying for your assistance, praying for your help. I'm asking for your help, angels, in this situation. I don't necessarily know what to do. Guide me through this. I prayed this, and I prayed to Yeshua, and I prayed to Mary as well. Yeshua and Mary Magdalene, the divine masculine and feminine, and the heart center. And so I prayed to them, and I was like, okay. And that's when the police officer showed up and checked on us, the second one, Tim. And then he said, hey, you guys are calling someone for a tow. I'll go ahead and see if I can get a serviceman, because I called the tow company and they said they could only tow one person. It's me and my partner. And they said it'd be $289. We had I had $100 that I got gifted for my birthday. And then he had $100, but he didn't have half of it, because when we pay at the pump, it puts a hold on a certain amount, so we didn't have enough. I was like, okay. So he said, hey, I'm gonna call a serviceman. They have service, I don't know what the word for it is, but basically there's someone who's assigned to just do service road worker. So he literally is assigned for this county to drive around and check to see if people on the road need help. So the police officer called a guy out to come and give us both a ride since the tow truck went in. We were waiting there for like an hour for this tow truck to come, and the gentleman named Damien, who is the service road worker, thank you Damien, another angel who appeared, troubleshooted so much stuff on the van for us to help us in potentially figuring out what was wrong before we had to pay even more money that we did not have, that we were going to try and have to ask our very small amount of people to help us with who had already helped us so much. And so he tried to put some gas in it, that didn't work. He tried to, tighten the battery, that didn't work. And then what happened was, because Vincent was off for so long, he had cooled down enough that if we started him up, he had just enough energy we could try and get a little further up the highway. And thankfully, we broke down right before an exit number, so it would be easier for the tow truck to come and get us. So he was just helping us to try and get the vehicle all the way off the exit so it would be safer and easier to tow it, which we did. And he was really funny, he was really lighthearted, he was giving us a lot of tips about like what to look for in a tow company, like the fact that they weren't on the dispatch list for the service road or the police officers. Like, they kept hanging up when they tried to call this tow company to verify. He's like, I've never heard of them, blah, blah. I called them because they were the closest, and I thought it would cost the least to call the closest person to tow us to the shortest distance, to save money, to be smart. And he recommended another company who immediately got us in like 30 minutes. Thank you, Orie. Orie was the beautiful angel who towed Vincent and put him on to the tow truck, and we rode with him to, well, we thought we were going to park at this Walmart across the street, but Damien recommended we park it at this auto shop, so that way if we needed something fixed we could already be there. So we did that, and then he recommended a hotel, which Dustin's mother thankfully was able to gift us a night to stay, because they wouldn't let us sleep in the van overnight at the auto shop, which I understand last time I was in a vehicle they did. But there's a heat wave going on, so it's probably beautiful. It was a blessing in disguise that we were gifted this opportunity. So we go into the hotel, we take a shower last night, clean ourselves off. I brought all the snacks from the van so we could eat, brought some change of clothes, brought things I thought I would want to have here with me. And it wasn't really much, it was food, clothes, like there's not many things I have left that I need. And so then this morning, Dustin goes downstairs, and most definite, not think so, was downstairs. And his tour bus was here, and I was still asleep in bed. Dustin came up and told me, he's like, most Def is downstairs. And I was like, what? Because to me praying to angels and blessings, Dustin, a true lyricist, a true poet, a true creative, a true embodiment of pure just expression of truth. That's what Dustin is to me. The fact that we had a being here, like most Def, who is that to me as well, was here, was angels coming in. And so I was like, you should go downstairs and give him your business card about hemp and cannabis. And he went back downstairs to do it, and as he did that, I went on his phone and I added his spoken word that he did at Trilogy over in San Diego. I added that to his link tree, so if they scanned it, they could see that and then make some connections there. But something that has been coming up in the collective and has been coming up through Rami Spirit, who I watch, is the choice of the lovers or the choice of the devil, the choice of your heart or the choice of your mind. And he went downstairs alone. I should have gone with him, and he told me not to beat myself up for it, but I should have gone downstairs with him and encouraged him to do it, because when he went down, I was like, thank you angels, thank you Spirit, I trust, and whatever occurs from this, I see this as a blessing. What are the odds that we got stopped here at this hotel with this beautiful lyricist? What are the odds? I trusted. And he went downstairs, and his mind got to him, the devil got to him, and he doubted himself. He doubted that he could just walk up and introduce himself. He felt like he didn't want to impose. He didn't want to, he's like, I'm sure people come up and talk to him all the time. I was like, but they aren't you. I'm sure lots of people who aren't trying to create and do something and say something and change something about the way we live on this planet come up to him, but you are one of those people. And so I kind of beat myself up that I wasn't ready, dressed to come down and support him in that. But I still sent him a message on Instagram, and I was like, okay, angels, I'm just going to send him a message with the link tree and trust that maybe he'll feel inclined, because, thousands of messages on Instagram I'm sure he receives, but I trusted and I prayed and I let it go and I let God. He was feeling bummed about it, and I understand that. I still have my own self-worth, and I couldn't tell you that if Ariana Grande was here and he was like, hey, you were born the same day as her, you feel really connected to her, you feel like you guys share a lot of similarities, blah, 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 you should go speak to her. Although it's not the same kind of parallel I would use anymore, because I feel like Ariana has gone in a very different direction than I have. But just to see someone that you might feel kind of a similar vein to, who's doing something that you're not necessarily doing yet, I understood how he was feeling. I understood that resistance. And I probably would have kind of felt the same way, but I know having support and having trust and moving from the heart, I was like, Yeshua, Yeshua, as he was walking out to remind him of that. And that's what I feel we all could be using a reminder about, and this is why this is going to be the last video I share on YouTube for a while, because I've been working on trying to grow the YouTube as a way to bring in abundance. I've been working on trying to share things I'm doing and places I'm going, trusting that people will receive that and want to join in on that or feel inspired by it or support me through doing it. And I've made YouTube like one of my main focuses as a Capricorn rising on a way to bring in abundance and money in like a passive way, like passive income. I make a video, I share that download, I share the content, I share the inspiration, and then trust that as I let it go, it'll continue to accrue itself. And I've almost been on YouTube for 4 years now. I mean, 4 years next month. And for me, usually after 2 years of doing anything, after 2 years, if it hasn't produced something for me, as far as like something to truly support me or help me grow continuously, then I kind of let it go. And it's been 4 years, so I've really been trying. And not to say that, I've failed, but it's been feeling like that for me in terms of comparison, which we're not supposed to compare ourselves to other people. We're not supposed to base what I'm experiencing in any sort of way off of what someone else is experiencing on YouTube. But that's what I did. But as far as how much energy I've been giving to it, how much focus I've been giving to it, it's time to let it go. It's time to let the goal of YouTube being a way to bring in abundance go. And that's what I'm doing. I'm no longer going to be trying to make YouTube a way to bring in abundance for myself or to support myself, and I'm letting go and I'm letting God. And that's what I did this morning in the shower. I got in the shower and I called to all of the angels, I called to Yeshua and Mary, and I prayed and I cried and I gave gratitude for all of the angels that appeared to us yesterday and that even appeared to us today in terms of helping us to even just try and get to home. Which to me, I understand where home is for me, and I'm going to be going there and I'm making plans to get there because it's not all the North American continent. I've seen all of North America and I know the place that calls to me, but just to get back to somewhere where I can gather my resources and just do things in my actual physical life and take some time away from trying to share all of that on the internet and trust that that will assist me in going further. I'm just going to go ahead and focus on what I can do for me internally, continuing to hone my own experience with myself, in myself, and trust that doing all of the work within and beginning within and knowing myself, that everything else will just echo out from that. And so I prayed and I surrendered. I'm letting go and I'm letting God do it. I am surrendering to Yeshua and to Mary and to my angels and to my spirit and to my soul and trusting. And that's all I can do. And that's what this whole experience has really taught me, is like the power of having trust. Sorry, there's a cute puppy outside. The power of having trust and faith in the greater plan for you, in the higher plan for you. And so I'm surrendering all of the plans that I've tried to make. I even tried to write a plan when we were here last night on notebook, like, okay, you do this, you do this. It's a Capricorn rising that is so difficult to let go of. And the Capricorn is the devil card in the tarot. It is, are you choosing to make your own plans to go into those patterns, to go into these things you keep thinking work but don't? Or are you going to go into the lovers, to the Gemini energy, to the angels, to love, to openness, curiosity, to what Spirit has planned for you? And that's what I'm going to do. And I trust and have faith. I've already seen blessings just pouring in from so many avenues, and I have the eyes to see them, and the heart to receive them, and the gratitude to receive them, and the wisdom to receive them, and the truth to receive them, and so many beautiful things. And really, the angels, my galactic family is here with me too. Gaia has been grounding me through all of it. I always call to Gaia as well. But the angels and Yeshua and Mary have been the ones who have been leading us through all of this, leading me through all of this. And so I thank you. If you've been one of those people who's been supporting the YouTube channel, if you've already subscribed, if you've done anything to support it, I thank you for that. It does mean something to me. And I've been working what I consider to be very hard, especially as a projector, as someone who doesn't have the divine sacral energy, someone who has to exercise extra energy and will to get things done. I work hard and I use a lot of my energy to try and grow things. And so since this hasn't been reaping any flowers for myself, any fruits, any vegetables, hasn't been bringing in things that can stabilize me, I'm letting it go, and I'm going to be pulling out everything I've planted, tilling the soil, opening it up, and allowing Spirit's seeds to be planted there. And that's what I'm going to be doing. So I wanted to say goodbye to all the beautiful people who have supported this channel. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I will still most likely be on my Instagram here and there. I'm really just allowing Spirit to guide me into what is best for me to do in terms of sharing my inner world with the outer experience. So I just wanted to say thank you and explain what's been going on, so you don't feel so left in the dark after this is the ending of what has been the Palace of Persephone. It's a very interesting feeling to let it go and to not do it anymore, especially as a Capricorn rising. A Mars in Virgo too, you know, like there's so many things in me that this is interesting for. But I'm letting it go, and my Saturn return is really teaching me a lot, and I've been learning a lot. But the power of prayer has been one of the most important things that I have learned. If you are struggling, if you feel lost, if you have no money like me, if you feel like you don't know where to go, where to turn to, and you need support, pray. I feel like there's such a resistance for a lot of us to pray, to put our hands together, our energy portals of masculine and feminine together, and connect at the heart center and pray. But they are literally waiting. They are waiting to help us and assist us, but we have to ask. It's free will. So that is my invitation to you, to pray, to see what happens, because a lot has already happened for us because of prayer. And I'm grateful for that, and I needed to come on and speak about that if I was going to speak about anything in my last video. It was the power of prayer, the power of angels, the power of Yeshua and Mary, the power of connecting to your spirit family, your soul guides, your ancestors. So thank you for receiving this. It feels crazy to even be saying goodbye, but this is aloha. So wish me the best of luck. If I see you on Instagram, I see you on Instagram. If I see you on Patreon, if I still have it, I see you there. As always, as always, as always, before I leave you, I send you peace, 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 peace. And I send you love, aloha, groundedness, gratitude for everything.